How could Wolverine, a mutant who could regenerate from being practically disintegrated, actually die from a fight in the woods? It clearly wasn't just one fatal wound that finally did him in. In the comics, Wolverine survived an explosion from the villain Nitro that should have vaporized him, but his body regenerated completely. So why was the end so different in the movie Logan? The answer isn't about one final battle. It's a tragic medical secret that was hidden in plain sight throughout the film. The main theory, stated directly in the film, is this: Wolverine's death was a long, slow process caused by his own adamantium skeleton. For over a century, the metal poisoned him from the inside out, and his legendary healing factor finally just burned out and gave up. To understand how this happened, we need to look at the evidence. First, we have to establish that the adamantium, while making his bones and claws indestructible, was fundamentally a foreign substance bonded to his skeleton. His body always recognized it as a poison and was in a constant state of trying to fight it off. For decades, this meant his mutant healing factor was fighting a non-stop war on two fronts. On one hand, it was healing him from every bullet, blade, and catastrophic injury he sustained externally. On the other, it was simultaneously and continuously fighting the chronic adamantium poisoning internally. Like any body, his eventually got tired. The movie Logan shows us the direct result of this century-long internal battle. After healing countless horrific injuries while also fighting a never-ending poison, his healing factor is completely worn out. It's finally failing. This is why every new wound we see him sustain in the film is so devastating. He isn't bouncing back anymore. Each cut and each hit brings him visibly closer to death because his primary defense mechanism is effectively offline. He's running on empty. Ultimately, Wolverine's death wasn't just a physical end. It was the brutal culmination of a life defined by suffering. He had already lost everyone he ever cared for, and in his final moments, his own body, poisoned by the very metal that made him a legend, finally gave up on him, leaving him to face the end in absolute agony. So what do you think of this theory? Does the slow burn of adamantium poisoning feel like the definitive and most tragic explanation for how Logan finally met his end?